second half. And that led Rick Barnes to say, I wouldn't trade Nate for anybody in the country. He's on the floor with the rest of his team in orange and Kentucky in their home white. This night with denim. It's the denim blue as a throwback to the '96 national championship team and their denim. Felix Okpara, by the way, is available tonight for Tennessee. He's been out for a few games. He will not start, but he is available, which gives them another big man. Dwayne Brown throws it up, and alley-oop to Estrella. It's 2-0.
Kentucky, you're going to have to defend multiple sides of the floor tonight. Tennessee got that ball to the third side. An easy rack attack from Brown.
Kentucky starting five. You focus on Malachi Moreno, who has been outstanding lately, the big man in the middle. Mark Pope says we want to get the ball in his hands more and more. Oweh got a chance for three to start it.
Can't let him turn the corner. I mean, it's as simple as that. This guy turning the corner is a beast in this league, and Bishop Boswell is chasing instead of being on that hip. Estrella rotates over, enough contact to get the call.
Estrella has been foul prone, and again, that's why the availability of Okpara is so important. So Oweh goes to the line, the 66% free throw shooter, and can't get that to go.
You don't want those drives by Oweh to result in N1s.
Gillespie pulls up, and he throws it all the way to the roof, and it falls into the bucket.
Well, he was good in the first matchup off the bounce with that jump shot, and a good clean start for Gillespie in this one.
Yeah, Mark Pope reminded us he was 4 of 4 off the bounce, which was what we just saw. They'll get it low to Moreno. Quickly defended by Brown, but KB Burdett sees a whistle. And the second foul early against Tennessee. Now, Mark Pope, you know, I asked him how special is this weekend. He said, honestly, every weekend is special, but I mean, to have all his boys around, it must be pretty cool. And he's the one that really orchestrated the whole denim thing. He wanted it a couple of different times earlier, and this is the night they get a chance to debut it. You see some of the coats on some of those kids from the '96 team who are now just young men.
Boy, a really good slip by Yelovich off that baseline out of bounds under, making Tennessee play for that aggressive defense.
Ament Oweh always giving up about 6 inches on the defensive end to Ament. Boswell, hard drive, really difficult pass. Did that go off Yelovich? No, it did not. It went through his legs. It's a turnover. And Boswell and Barnes are both suggesting that hit Yelovich. I thought it might have too.
It is awfully early for a coach's challenge right now if you're Rick Barnes, as close as this game's going to be going down the stretch.
Moreno deep, too deep, and he gets it to go.
Kentucky going right at Tennessee early in this game. 3 out of their opening 4 possessions.
Ament pulls. That's no good. Yelovich, good rebound on the defensive end. Oweh sees a lane. He lays it up and in. Moreno with one of those roadblock screens helped clear the lane.
Man, how good is Oweh in the open floor? The combination of strength, speed, and power.
Gillespie had a 3, pulled it to a 2, and knocked it down.
Yeah, I like his decision, though. He took up the slack, knocked down the open 15-footer. Boy, if you're Kentucky, you've got to be physical against those Tennessee screens in the half court.
Aberdeen speed, and he lost his control, then the ball. Oweh trying to stay in front of Boswell. Did a good job, and another difficult pass, Jimmy, to handle for a big man.
Well, the last 2 Kentucky hoops tells you that Mark Pope has said, hey, we've got to hold our own or win the war inside tonight. Moreno, the young freshman, goes right at the chest of Estrella, makes that contact first, and that's how you score in the interior. And there's that roadblock screening action that Kentucky is so good at in the open court.
You mentioned it. They have gone inside a lot. 8 points all inside the paint for the Wildcats. Aberdeen has got 10. He finds Chandler. Got Amen off the floor, didn't take it. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Aberdeen. Off to the right. Moreno had it. And it's going to be a foul on Malachi Moreno. Surrounded by 4 orange jerseys.
But he has solidified the interior for Kentucky over the last 3 or 4 weeks. A 5-star kid out of the Lexington area, state champion here. And his future is about as good as anybody Mark Pope can put on that floor.
So Moreno will take a seat here with 16:20 to go in the first half, having picked up that foul. Jalen Carey's going to come in on the other side. Estrella goes to the Pine. And Brandon Garrison, coming off one of his best games, is into the game for Kentucky. Garrison went for 20 and 11 in 29 minutes.
Yeah, his best game of his career, even going back to Oklahoma State, Brandon Garrison, midweek.
Big Daddy Brandon, part of his post-game press conference, saw his young son with him, who was adorable. Double team on Amen. And now one-on-one again. 6-inch height advantage over Owe. Brother's a football player, and he's playing defense like a football player, but it leaves Boswell wide open for a 3. Amen up and no. Tap back up, no, by Brown. Another offensive rebound in the hands of Amen. Free throw jumper, no good. Loose ball, here comes Kentucky. They got numbers. Watch out for Owe, and he couldn't control it.
Man, Tennessee misses a lot of shots at the rim in conference play.
Gillespie way off to the right and out of bounds.
I mean, they get the ball there, but they miss at a high clip. A concern for Rick Barnes early in this game, I'm sure.
What's your biggest concern? The ability of Kentucky to work in the paint?
I think that has Tennessee's attention right off the bat, because Mark Pope,
and he is 0 for 3 in the game. He's picked up a couple of rebounds and a couple of assists in 5 minutes, so he sits for the first time. And good to have everybody along with us on a Saturday in which the ESPN family of networks is showing 27 college basketball games.
Man, from Duke, Carolina to Tennessee, Kentucky, Houston, BYU. Man, what an evening of college ball.
No doubt about it. Diabate always into the game. So far, all their points have come in the paint. 8 of them as Aberdeen heads in there. And Owe moves it to Garrison. A little too strong. Brandon Garrison is not a three-point shooter by trade. Chandler's probably their biggest threat. Aberdeen as well. Neither of these teams live and die by the 3, like so many others in college basketball.
Yeah, Tennessee making the fewest in SEC play out of all 16 teams, about 6.5 per game.
But this guy is the one guy who can knock him down, and Gillespie does it again. He killed Kentucky in their first meeting, and he's off to a hot start here with 8.
And that's his second made three-point shot in this game off the bounce. He was 4 for 4 the last time they played, 1 for 16 since. Man, right back to those pull-up jump shots tonight.
Really good pass into Diabate, who finds Chandler. Ball fake, step. Too strong. And a good rebound by the freshman Brown.
Ravi, Kentucky has shot the ball at a 47% clip from 3 in the 4 matchups between Mark Pope and Rick Barnes. That's an extremely high clip.
Why do you think Gillespie has such success? Is it just seeing Kentucky on the uniform?
Yeah, it might be.
Pull up too strong. Chandler now. 3-on-3 as the numbers even out. But Diabate sees a lane, and he had his shot denied by the rim.
Well, Tennessee's got numbers if they'll rush. Watch behind.
Brown. Behind him is Diabate, who reached in and is called for the foul. Well, the SEC Network, Jimmy's got a great one, too. You've talked about all the big games. How about A&M in Florida? Think about A&M. We talked about this the last couple of weeks. Their schedule got harder. They lost to Alabama. Now they're dealing with Florida. The Gators have an 11-2 lead early. That game on the SEC Network, and we'll get you updates throughout the course of our game.
Well, this league is just going to be a slugfest, Ravi, for the next 5 or 6 weeks, even into Nashville in the SEC tournament as Estrella gets loose on that baseline out of bounds under. I know this. If you don't show up ready to play, you're going to get knocked. It happened to Vanderbilt today against Oklahoma, was at the bottom of the league, goes into Vanderbilt and wins. And these teams tonight, Tennessee, Kentucky, as you would expect on a rivalry game, all gas, no break so far on the aggressiveness level.
So Estrella goes to the free throw line. He's just a red shirt sophomore, 6'11", 240. Who Rick Barnes thinks has the potential of the world here, given his size, his great footwork. He missed the free throw there, and it's a 12-8 Tennessee lead.
Keep an eye on that free throw number for Tennessee. 68% in league play, not good.
Another good hands by Gillespie to knock it away from Owe.
Boy, they ambush the ball, do they not, the team in orange?
They do. There's Owe, and that one does not go down. Up and in, and that is Garrison. Good vibes from Brandon Garrison off his last game, his best in college, 2011, and this is a helper to go.
Well, it's the physicality and the footwork that Tin and White brings to Kentucky right now. And if you're going to hang with Tennessee, you've got to battle on the glass, man. That's when the game begins. And Brandon Garrison in those slick denim uniforms, it's not the denim, it's what's in them, as Mark Pope has said over the last few days.
Say that again. It's not the denim.
It's not the denim. It's what's in them. They won a national title in those bad boys, so he knows.
There he is, the coach and the captain of that 96 team. The coach of that team, of course, Rick Pitino. You talk about college basketball and atmospheres. What a victory they got over the University of Connecticut last night in a slugfest at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, people talk about the SEC being the most physical league. That game last night between St. John's and UConn was just body blow after body blow, and a huge win for Rick Pitino. Gave UConn their, what, second loss?
Yep, 21-2, I think. And Estrella missed one inside. Those are the types of points they think Estrella should be converting at a higher rate. Jasper Johnson into Garrison. Difficult pass with a left to Owe, who kind of stopped his cut.
With a turnover for Kentucky starting to pile up early in this game, just a little.
By a seal off by Carey. Great hustle there by the freshman Johnson. Great hustle as he submarined under the bigger Carey.
Jalen Carey trying to duck move and blow up his defender, but man, Kentucky fought hard and got their body off that duck move. Look at Trent Noah, man, he's just fighting for all he's got. He reaches the left paw in, and Jasper Johnson, the freshman, comes in as well. Big time effort, as you would expect in a game like this.
Those 50-50 balls are going to be very, very big. White uniforms then, as Jimmy said, denim blue tonight for Kentucky. That's the plan that Pope had launched a while ago. Wanted to get them out earlier, but they debut tonight against the rival Tennessee Volunteers. Call that one on Amari Evans. Rick Barnes does have nearly his full complement of players available, which means Amari Abram is available. Felix Okpara we haven't seen, but he is available, limited minutes.
Well, you know this with a Rick Barnes team. It's going to be a rugged, rough, stout on the glass type game. And because Tennessee doesn't shoot a lot of threes, Ravi, the rebounding for Kentucky tonight is going to be 8 feet and in. It's not going to be long rebounds. Do they have the bodies and the will to hold up in a 15-round fight with the best offensive rebounding team in the country, Tennessee?
Is that because most of their shots come
no doubt.
Closer?
Yeah, Tennessee doesn't shoot a high volume of threes. So to clean up, as Mark Pope told his guys today, we have to clean up 8 feet and down. 15 feet and down is not the game tonight.
So all the guards are going to be active too. Here's a loose ball. Everybody on the floor, but Evans got called with the push. And that'll quickly be the second on Amari Evans.
I thought it was backcourt. I thought they were going to have a backcourt violation that went uncalled, results in a... That's clearly Trent Noah makes the pass, and it goes off the hand of Jasper Johnson. A deflection, though, so no possession. Right call to play on.
Jimmy, Noah had a very good game, too, as well. You know, with Cam Williams' injury, and Kentucky, like so many teams, have been bitten by the injury bug. He had to step in. The kid from Harlan, Kentucky, has played well. Had a famous sort of shush after he knocked down a big three against Arkansas to the crowd. This is a crowd you want loud as Garrison backs his butt all the way down, denied by Brown. Well, we know what Brown can do for them on that trip.
Boy, tremendous rotation down by Dwayne Brown. The timing of his rotation, Ravi, was exceptional.
Boswell, a soft pass, and again, we're diving into the hardwood. And a fight for it, and the possession arrow goes the way of Kentucky, but we got arms up, which means there's going to be a foul on that play.
Yeah, if you don't want to fight, don't check in this ball game. And Rick Barnes told his guys that this is not a revenge game. I know they got us a couple of weeks ago. This is our next game. And Mark Pope with a similar message. Hey, when Tennessee comes to town, these games mean more.
They beat Syracuse in the final 76-67. And that team, of course, was coached by Pitino and captained by Pope. Ament, line drive short on a 3 to miss. And Yelovich with a defensive rebound.
Yeah, Tony Delk was the MVP of that Final Four. He actually made 7 threes in the national title game to beat Syracuse. That still is tied for the most made threes in the title game with Steve Alford back in 1987, and then Dave Seeger for Oklahoma versus Kansas in '88. 7 made threes by Tony Delk that night.
Been the dominant program in the SEC as Yelovich will line up a 3 that's off to the right. With their SEC titles, with their tournament titles, and of course as recognizable a college basketball brand as there is in the world, the University of Kentucky. Estrella, an easy one there.
So good as a short roll is Estrella. Ravi, he gets that ball and immediately his eyes go to the rim. Where's the help coming from? Do I have one for myself or a drop off? Tough to handle with that type size and those kind of paws.
And you see the way Ament's impacted the game, Jimmy. That was his 3rd assist. He doesn't have a point yet.
Wow,
and Oweh pulls his way in, and wouldn't you know it, Bishop Boswell takes another one to the nose-face area.
Bishop Boswell is averaging about 3 hard hits to the nose per game right now in SEC play. This is just best on best. Bishop Boswell is the best on-ball defender that Rick Barnes has. Oweh, the best driver from Pope. And the guy in white 00 just won that grown man war.
Oweh missed the free throw badly. Kentucky right now 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Something to keep an eye on as this game progresses. Looks like Oweh had his arms wrapped around Ament, and that is the call from Pat Adams on the baseline. Try to set a low screen to free up Ament. Oweh grabbed him like a offensive tackle would grab a would-be defensive lineman. 34-2, there they are. That's Mark Pope wearing number 41, and of course Rick Pitino holding the microphone as they celebrate that natty. Estrella inside, no. Rebound battle won by Moreno as he and Brown, a couple of freshmen, got caught up there.
Ravi, another missed 4-footer by Tennessee in this first half.
Aberdeen all the way to the basket.
That cannot happen. I applaud Aberdeen. He took exactly what the defense gave him. But no one was talking, pointing with an urgency for Tennessee.
Sellout crowd of 20,000 plus on its feet. Ament sits him down.
That is classic backside bomb by Tennessee to reverse that ball with 2 passes.
He's trying to do it again, bull his way to the baseline. That time cut off. They'll start this with 10 on the shot clock. Estrella edges out on Aberdeen to leave a good 3-point shooter, Noah. Aberdeen launch. Too strong. Good offensive board. Oweh. Denied by Brown. Watch it. Picked off by Yelovich. And he will get fouled by Ament.
Tennessee has had high turnover issues, about 19% of their possessions in conference play. That number's dropped a little the last few games, but man, that one's just inexcusable. Denzel Aberdeen was the problem in the first matchup in that second half. He got downhill at will and just crosses Boswell up. And that transition defense for Tennessee, you've got to build from the painted area out. They didn't do it. Aberdeen makes them pay.
Aberdeen, Jimmy, is part of the whole transition for Kentucky here in the second year under Pope. He, of course, transferred off a national championship team in which he likely would have had a significant role. He comes here and then, because of the injury to Lowe, becomes the point guard.
He's a hooper, is what Denzel Aberdeen is. He's at his best offensively when Kentucky kind of goes off script and just puts him in a high ball screen and lets his 6'5" frame get downhill and make plays. It was the problem for Tennessee in the second half in the first game.
Big problem right now is going to be their free throws,
No
as
doubt.
they have missed their first 5 attempts. 3-point lead, Volunteers. Midway through the first, Ament. That has a lot more arc on it. Knocked down a second three.
Yeah, I said can't. You cannot go under on Nate Ament. And Oweh, as good of a defensive player he is, he's tries to take the shortcut. And Ament says, not on me.
Ament's confidence is growing and growing.
Yeah.
Similar to what you see with Houck at Florida. They want the ball in Moreno's hands more often. That time it slipped out of them, and it's a turnover on Kentucky. They want him in his hands, Jimmy, because he's a very good passer, similar to Condon with Florida.
Yeah, Moreno and Yelovich at that 4 and 5 spot for Kentucky. Now you're seeing that zoom action come into play a little bit. Their interior passing typically clean. And Tennessee right now, they're getting that ball side to side. They're not turning it over, making Kentucky work in the half court.
Ament is hot. Do they go to him again? He has it. One-on-one with Oweh, giving up 6 inches on defense. Carey tries to set the screen. Ament pulls up, just too tall.
Ravi, how tough was that? He had to fight his way, first of all, to come off that ball screen. And then Oweh clamps down, chokes off the water, but he fights off the pressure, just elevates over the top.
How quickly Ament got from no points to 8 points. Oweh, three-pointer is good. And right now, Burdett is calling it a 2. Difficult shot there from Otega Oweh. Gillespie's got Ament. He's got a 3. He's got another, and it's all net, and it's all Nate.
What a job by Gillespie, though, to play off 2 feet. Didn't go in there off of 1 and do anything off balance.
Oweh. Boy, difficult drive there with Brown.
Ravi, why gamble on Oweh? You're giving the best guy downhill an easy pass.
Carey has it. Gillespie wide open. Splash! And Tennessee is red hot right now.
And they only make Tennessee 6.5 threes per game. They have already hit 6 in this ball game. Nate Ament has been the guy. That rim the last couple of weeks has just gotten bigger and bigger for Nate Ament. Rick Barnes would tell you he's a 5-star talent and a 10-star kid. Tennessee, Ravi.
Chaz Lanier and Dalton Connect and the expectations on this guy and how Rick Barnes has coached him.
Well, he made the perfect decision for Nate Ament. He needed someone that's going to hold him accountable every day. You know Coach Barnes is going to do that. But also believe in him and keep his spirit going. Nate Ament's the 13th McDonald's All-American in the history of Tennessee basketball. You knew eventually it was going to click, and it certainly has.
Right, so he's out of the game. Chandler into the game, made a nice pass to Oweh. Estrella got it, got rid of it too quickly, and Yelovich grabbed the board.
Yeah, why rush? He's got a wingspan advantage on the inside, Estrella does.
Aberdeen, very difficult turnaround at the free throw line.
I think that's where Kentucky's at their best right now. Early offense, one-on-one with Aberdeen or Oweh.
Gillespie, that one is off. And that's going to be on Chandler, who came in just swatting at it when it was in the hands of Estrella.
Yeah, Denzel Aberdeen is a problem. And he's all of 6'5", and Gillespie right now, he tries to steal that basketball. You're not going to do it with a guy with that much size and that good of a handle. And as soon as Gillespie reached and got off balance, boom, number 1 in white with the crossover finds his sweet spot.
Also checking in Trent Noah, along with Mo Diabate.
Garrison, Noah, and Diabate into the game. Yelovich, Chandler picked up his 2nd with that foul. He's out of the game, and Moreno goes to the bench. And in the 28-22 game, they still whistle for Nate Ament to come back into the game. All right, so Jimmy, who do you use to guard Nate Ament? Who do you use?
I like Mo Diabate.
Okay.
I think you have to go with Denzel Aberdeen. Certainly Oweh coming into the game was your best option. The problem is none of those guys have the length to take away the vision of Nate Ament in his game.
And Estrella is underneath. He now has Garrison on him. Gillespie, 10 seconds on the shot clock for Boswell. He pulls up. No good, out of bounds, off Carey. Jimmy, the great basketball continues. We've seen it all day. There have been great games. Halftime report will certainly get you up to date on everything. But next, we go out to Provo, Utah for number 8 Houston and number 16 BYU.
Ravi, 2 possessions ago, Nate Ament came off of a ball screen and found that 15-foot pull-up jump shot. There's another freshman in the country that can do it with that type of length. This is the kid from BYU coming up next, A.J. DeBonta. But those two dudes are elite for that length and the pull-up ability.
Aberdeen got by his man, laid it up, just came up a little short. Ament tweaked his left leg. He looks like he's okay. Gillespie, another high arcing three that finds the bottom.
What a pass by Boswell to get out in front of the play and find Gillespie circling behind.
But Gillespie 14, Ament 11. They have 25 of Tennessee's 31. Diabate down low, didn't take it. Aberdeen, yes. Corner three gives a look to the Tennessee bench on his way back. And Garrison's going to get called for the hold on Estrella. How about the three-point shooting for the Vols, Jimmy? 7 of their 12 field goals from behind the three-point line.
Yeah, they're already above their average. They've taken more threes than twos, which is not the typical formula for Rick Barnes' team. Actually, it's 50-50, but Denzel Aberdeen, Kentucky, is so good at keeping that backside corner fill, puts a lot of pressure. They can run some hammer action on the backside to get guys freed up, but both teams are terrific at moving the ball.
We've had 6 free throws, and that's the first one that's gone through the net is Estrella. A 66% free throw shooter knocks it down. And the lead, 32-25 for Tennessee with 5 minutes to go.
Now, we forget Estrella is just a redshirt sophomore. 6'11", 245, was a top 100 kid out of high school, has battled some injuries. His mom played 4 years at Boston College. He's got a tremendous future, 13 and orange.
Out of Scarborough, Maine, used to play high school basketball against Cooper Flagg. Best basketball player to come out of that state. Ament, stop it. Just stop it. He buries another three.
I'm not sure what Otega Oweh was thinking, because Nate Ament has seen a really big rim. And Otega Oweh just got about a step too far off of Nate Ament in that corner.
Ament 14, Gillespie 14. Combined, they have 8 threes between them. Oweh spun, he kicked it out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee basketball. Great defense, Bishop Boswell.
Otega Oweh is assigned to Nate Ament in that far corner. But he's standing there staring at the basketball and worried about the basketball more than the guy that can get the basketball and fire away. But again, Ravi, because he's 6'11", you can be there on time and close out with high hands. He's just going to shoot over the top of you for the most part.
Been a two-man show, though, tonight between Ament and Gillespie. They've outscored Kentucky by 3 points.
And 10 seconds in, they've already gotten the ball, Tennessee, to the third side of the floor.
Henderson, backup point guard, both shoulders taped into the game. Ament on Chandler. Good entry to Carey. That's going to be off, but he picks up the foul. It's going to be charged against Diabate.
There's no one better in all of college ball than Tennessee at that duck move. Your post guy just blown up the defender right in front of the rim, and Tennessee's so good at those angle passes to feed the low block. That's another reason why Tennessee is the best offensive rebound team in the country. Their offense has 2 post players always living in that low block area.
Because of that, they draw a lot of fouls. Ament draws more fouls than just about anybody. Diabate is going to go to the bench with 3, and Kentucky's got 8 fouls already.
Boom, look at that blow up right there on the inside. That's just Rick Barnes basketball from all the way back in his days at Providence, Clemson, Texas, wherever. They set the rules of the game around the rim better than anybody else in this league.
Carey knocks it down. Did he do it at George Mason?
He did do it at George Mason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Largest lead of the night, 11. Felix Okpara is in. This is the first time we've seen him in a few games. You can see that left leg of his, the big guy in 34, all taped up. He'll play limited minutes, but boy, that's a tall weapon to bring in off the bench this late in the game.
Well, remember, Tennessee had a 17-point lead in the first game in the first half, and that did not last.
Aberdeen, that's way short. Yeah, over Brown. Yelovich kept it alive. Good job. 5 on the shot clock. Chandler's going to launch.
Bam!
And landed.
He is Kentucky's best shooter under pressure, late game or late clock.
41% from 3. And this crowd so desperately wants to see the Cats come back in this one here before we go to the half. Amen. Great defense by Noah. He's going all the way, and he will draw the foul. What a job by Trent Noah. The Kentucky kid comes through.
Kentucky now with 2 made threes in this ball game, but the biggest one in this first half for Kentucky went off a little bit of a loose ball scramble. Aberdeen drives that ball, grabs a piece of the paint. Tennessee ambushes the ball.
Contested, but right now Nate Ament not only is making everything, he is rising up the draft boards across NBA offices all over the place. He's just a different player than he was early in the season. And to Rick Barnes' credit, he said, I knew what he was capable of.
Well, he's getting a ton of minutes at the 3 position and not a lot at the 4 position, maybe 5% of the time, I think, the last 5 games. But what he does is he's drawing fouls at a very high rate. The reason is teams are being physical with him, but Ravi, you watch this guy over the last 3 weeks. He's learning to sell those fouls. Yeah. Contact, he's selling it really well, which is just the next step in progression for a guy like Nate Ament.
And the progression has certainly been seen with the 3-point shooting tonight. His 4 threes in this first half matched the most he's had in any game. He did that against Rutgers. Kentucky hanging in there, though, as Noah bangs in both free throws. 6-point game, 3 minutes to go. And Noah's getting some productive minutes, but a blow-by there. Sets up Boswell. And he knocked it down. Man, they're making these 15-footers.
2 really big pull-ups by Boswell in this first half. Just sucked up the slack that the defense gave him and popped him.
Noah on the cut, into the lane. Brown with another block.
Noah needed more arc.
You won.
Well, he did, right?
Yes, he did.
Yep. Uh-oh. Moving screen, I believe, right?
It looks like it. And I think that's going to be the 2nd foul on Okpara.
Well, credit Trent Noah, though, for being a physical defender. If you're not trying to blow stuff up in this game, you're not going to get that call. And if you're Kentucky, Ravi, we talked about physicality against Tennessee. You have to be physical on this end of the floor as much as the defensive end of the floor, because Tennessee will give you nothing.
Chandler in the paint, fired it up there. Big battle. Brown's done a lot in traffic. And here comes Boswell. The cutters, Ament, and the dunk.
What a pass by Boswell in traffic to slow down just enough and find that angle for Ament on the left side.
Ament's got 16 here in the first half. Good defense against Aberdeen to stay in front. Yelovich, just a head-down drive down to the baseline, and then he gets picked. Here's Ament again. The floater, it goes!
Are you kidding me? Can I get an amen from Nate Ament?
What a massive first half for Nate Ament, coming off a second half in his last game that he scored 26. He'll shoot a free throw for his 19th, Jimmy.
Ravi, he would not or could not make this play in November or December. Driving the ball with force into contact, being the first guy to find the contact, and he goes right at Noah, boom, right there, takes a hard hit. But he has learned in that weight room with Coach G, the strength coach, how to use that 20 pounds of muscle that he's put on since day one. Man.
His first free throw and his 19th point of the half. It's scary for opponents to see what Ament's been able to do in his last 2 halves of college basketball. Every trip now in the last 90 seconds feels very important for Kentucky. Johnson, good roll there. Moreno, yes, too good.
A very tight window for Aberdeen to find Moreno. Moreno's got great hands. That young kid doesn't fumble too many things at all around that rim.
Speaking of stock rising, Malachi Moreno's is going as well. Quainton's the 7-footer. He's not available tonight. Alley-oop, Okpara just deflected it in. Kentucky is having difficulty denying Tennessee from 3 and at the rim. Vols are shooting 57% in the half and 61% from 3. And they blow the whistle. There's a foul. For the free throws, a reminder, women's basketball, ABC. How about it tomorrow, Jimmy? First place is on the line. Joyce Edwards, number 3, South Carolina. Tennessee is ranked 19th. Coverage begins at 3 o'clock Eastern time on ABC.
And Joyce Edwards, I think he's 6'2", probably sophomore, and for the last 2 or 3 weeks, she's looking like a first-team All-American, averaging 20 and right at 6 rebounds a game.
Boy, the free throw shooting has been brutal for Kentucky. 2 for 8 now in the first half. 6 missed freebies.
Kentucky, Brandon Garrison replaces Andrea Yelovich.
I don't want to belabor the point too much, but what Ament does at 6'10", 200 pounds with that release of his being so high, he is a defensive nightmare matchup for every opponent.
Yeah. Kentucky now is going to extend their zone press a little bit. Gillespie just single-handedly works his way through it. First zone look by Kentucky in this game. They'll switch it out till about 10 seconds and normally match up man-to-man, short clock.
Well, Gillespie's going to try, and a rare miss from 3 for Gillespie tonight. Just about 1 second difference, shot and game clock here in the first half. Estrella, Owe. No good, rebound with 10 seconds to go. It's Tennessee basketball.
Yeah, set a ball screen, get downhill. You got 6 seconds to work with.
Gillespie. No good. Yeah, they got it. That's right. Johnston was holding on to Boswell. So as the time expired, he will absolutely have some free throws. They'll take a look at the clock. But Jasper Johnson had a hold of his arm when Boswell went up to grab that rebound.
Ravi, on a team that values hard work. No one works harder than Bishop Boswell. And that,
many of the fans in the building have decided we're going to the concourse. We're going to get refreshments. We'll refresh and start this thing all over again in the second half. We don't care to watch Bishop Boswell shoot free throws in a 12-point game.
Ravi, because that game clock showed 0.0, you go back and look at when did the foul occur. Same scenario at the end of the game or end of an overtime. And a terrific job by Pat Adams, KB Burdett, and Rob Rourke to see that foul occurred at 1.5. One bounce.
Yeah, Noah launches. No, that's off the backboard. So it's a 14-point lead at the half. That's the bad news.
Yeah.
The good news is they've been in this situation before.
Kentucky, yeah. They were down 17 in Knoxville 4 games ago, and
they struggled. However, we've said they've been here before, and 3 weeks ago tonight, they trailed by 17 and came back to win that game 80-78.
If you're Kentucky, you tell your guys, we don't believe Tennessee's going to make 8 threes again in the second half, but man, let's be in that airspace and make sure.
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah,
they have that play diagram. Moreno got it in his hands, and Owe with a backdoor cut.
Yeah, just burn that initial pressure off that Tennessee came out with.
So they move Chandler onto Ament to start the second half. Gillespie gives a look up at the shot clock, sees it now, says 8, penetrates. Ooh, Owe. Did he come down with that arm of his? Pope was frustrated by it. That'll be the second on Otega Owe.
You cannot let Gillespie reject that ball screen up top. And on the other end, talk about burning pressure off. Owe right here, and he just turns that corner. He has an Iverson cut, Ravi, across the top, and then when he gets to the side, boom. Just a really good burn cut to start the second half by Owe.
And a good screen by his teammate Yelovich. Gillespie too strong with that free throw. Tennessee made 5 of 8 in the first half, and then their shooting from the floor was terrific. Still 55% from the stripe. Second one is good as Yelovich and Brown meet on the hardwood. This was a very, very loud building as they celebrated the '96 national championship team. They keep looking for things to get excited about, and that's going to be a foul on Estrella. That's number 2 on Estrella.
What a quick, fast move by Moreno, because Estrella, as soon as he got on the high shoulder, Moreno felt it, spun off of it. Gets himself to the stripe, and watch Estrella. Just as he got on that high side of the body, Ravi, post position is all about first to make contact and first to get low. And that's exactly what Moreno did, spinning off of Estrella.
7-footer out of Germantown, Kentucky, Jimmy. He's only a freshman. I mean, look, there's a chance that he leaves for the NBA draft along with Quaintance. And that's probably not what they anticipated, but Moreno has been used so much and been so productive in his minutes. It is definitely a reality that he may go. Can't wait for Houston BYU tonight, 10:30 Eastern time. Head back to the hotel room and get set for some unbelievable basketball out west. Basketball's been great all day long.
Well, two of the top 5 or 6 freshmen in the country going at it. Kingston Fleming's. What I like about his game, he can do it all, but Kelvin Sampson's allowing that kid to play about 32 minutes a game. I think that's the second per minutes played that Kelvin Sampson puts on the floor. That's how much trust he has in Kingston Fleming's.
Fleming's just another one of those freshmen, Jimmy. How many freshmen this year do teams design their plays to go to when you need a bucket? And Fleming's is one of them. Brown's a freshman. He got denied by another one, Moreno. 7 on the shot clock. Dangerous time with Gillespie, and the ball splits the defense. Lays it up, no good. Offensive rebound, Boswell. He will stick his nose anywhere.
Well, he is first to the fight, is he not, Boswell?
He wide open, Estrella for an easy one.
That's all Bishop Boswell, though. That loose ball rebound is a loose ball assist.
Aberdeen separates and gets the friendly roll here at Rupp.
I just think Denzel Aberdeen is thinking, what did I do the last time against Tennessee in the second half?
Yep.
I went isolation basketball and went downhill.
That's off of Ament. Chandler wins the race to the ball. He's got Yelovich with him, finds him for the flush. Down to 9. Chandler is all over Nate Ament. Boswell, hard cut. Up, and 2 free throws coming. Aberdeen will get whistled for the foul.
Well, you've got to play through, both teams, you got to play through the rake downs, the bumps, the blow-up plays. You better embrace it, not run from it. And Tennessee moving that basketball. Nate Ament just loses control of it. And a good decision by Colin Chandler instead of the clean 3. He finds Yelovich, who gets out in front of the orange jerseys for the easy 2.
You know, things that we have the benefit of seeing, Jimmy, during the ball being handed to Boswell. Ament was called over to Barnes, and Barnes gave him an earful. You know, a guy's got these 2 phenomenal halves, and there's always an opportunity to coach. And Rick Barnes doesn't back down from coaching anybody on his team hard. And now Ament is trying to communicate with the official, Pat Adams.
But Ravi, I think it's been Rick Barnes' one of his best jobs ever of developing an elite talent and being patient, not breaking his spirit, staying hard on him, driving him every day, holding him accountable. It's probably about as good a job as he's done as a head coach.
Which says a lot, given the players he's had over his career, including Kevin Durant and, of course, Grant Williams at Tennessee, to name just a few. Yelovich was straight on, but a long rebound. Goes to Brown, who's starting to rack up a pretty impressive total when it comes to rebounds. Seven boards for the freshman. Brown sets the pick. Ament went off the backboard, and that wasn't good. Numbers favor Tennessee back on defense.
Wow,
and how about the hands of Boswell?
What a rip by Bishop Boswell.
Good hands by Chandler. Back to Ament. Up and in.
But again, another play triggered by 3 in orange.
Yep.
A program built on hard work, and no one outworks Bishop Boswell.
Lead was 9, now back to 13. Boswell, the unsung hero. Chandler knocks down another 3. Colin Chandler, second of the night.
I'm a big Colin Chandler fan, man. He's fast and forceful with his ball fakes, his shot fakes, shoot that thing with confidence.
Brown head down, cleared space, threw it up. That was denied. Out of bounds, Kentucky basketball.
I talked about Colin Chandler in the first half. I think he's Kentucky's best pressure shooter. I know we're early in the second half, but Kentucky has pressure on him. And he came down to that slot 45 and no hesitation at all by 5 in white.
He's made some of the bigger plays during the stretch in which they've won 7 of 8.
Look at Chandler. He knows his sweet spot is that slot 45, just off that elbow towards the sidelines. Kind of lives in that spot in early offense.
He threw that touchdown pass to Moreno. He also had the big steal of the end of the first game in that comeback against Tennessee. And on that steal, he actually looked back on it and said, I knew the play they were running. I knew what they were going to do. Stepped in for a steal, trying to get an under 10 again. Backdoor cut, Chandler. Up, and no, too strong. He may have gotten hit in the head on that rebound by Tennessee, but he's back up. Boswell's 3, that's no good. Crashing, what a job by Amari Abram just into the game.
Well, there's a reason why. Yeah, there's a reason why Tennessee is the #1 offensive rebound team in the country. They grade, did you make an effort to go to the offensive glass? Not did you come up with one. And Amari Evans, 6'5", 250.
2 of 7 from the floor. Tennessee 0 of 1 from 3. And Evans, who ripped a rebound, missed the free throw.
Well, Nate Ament in that first game had 17 points, 5 rebounds, and I think 2 assists. He's exceeded that already with 21 and 5, and no sign of being done.
Nate Ament's become a 20-point machine. He's got it for the 8th time this year, 5th in the last 7 games, 3rd in a row. Every trip important for the Cats. They need points and stops. Okpara back in the game. Oweh. Good defense that time by Boswell again. Loose ball. Aberdeen won that. Didn't need to fire it up, but it worked anyway.
That foot race to the ball, man, is so important. And Aberdeen just the best athlete in the open floor.
Carey, Evans, Okpara into the game, out of bounds off Tennessee. Good help by Brandon Garrison, or BG as his teammates call him.
Have you heard me say before that some baskets are worth more than the 2 or 3 points they result in? This might be it. Watch Aberdeen. The foot race to the ball, bam, beats a good athlete, Bishop Boswell. No hesitation on the rise and fire.
Yelovich, that's deflected away. Here's Boswell. Oh, Way, what a job to knock it out of his hands, but Pat Adams calls the foul.
They could count the basket as well if he grabbed the rim. Oweh.
I think it was Boswell who grabbed the rim. Let's see.
So much emphasis to protect airborne shooters the last few years, as there should be. I love the effort by Oweh, though. Doesn't give up on the play. Comes from behind. Yeah, that's all Boswell grabbing the rim. I'm not sure where the contact was.
I agree. That looked like a very clean
ball by Oweh, no doubt. Just a monster effort by Otega Oweh from behind the play. Look at Oweh, man. This is championship level stuff. Now, I think he got that ball at the last second. An unfavorable call in Rupp Arena.
Yeah, and understandably so. I mean, that is easily.
It looked bad.
That's right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's almost like an anticipation foul. When Oweh ran his butt off to get back there, and it certainly looked like a clean block. So the lead goes back to 10.
Boy, the battle line, which is the line of scrimmage on that ball screen defense, is probably going to determine the second half.
Diabate goes up strong that time to avoid an Ament block.
Good find by Garrison to get that basketball and square his shoulders up to the middle of the lane, and his vision took him to the cut.
Diabate's first 2 of the night. Okpara from the free throw line, no good. Owe, a nice rip. Owe's got 14 points, and that's just his third rebound of the night.
There needs to be on the official stat sheet a line for bad shots taken, and that might have been one.
Owe, that's way too strong and off. Good job by Evans there with the rebound. Carey's gonna camp out down low. He's got Aberdeen on him.
Yeah, it's time to get Nate Ament back involved offensively. Rick Barnes barking the same thing.
Seven on this shot clock. Gillespie. Evans will launch. Well, Tennessee certainly colder than they were in the first half. Now just 2 of 9 here in the second.
Well, watch the roof if Kentucky knocks one down here.
Aberdeen with Okpara on him. Diabate all the way, and here we go. No for Gillespie, 2 of 10 in the second half.
Just a couple of bad shot selections by Tennessee in this Kentucky run.
No, Jimmy, they loosened the roof. And that would have blown it off, but no on the 3 from Aberdeen.
Well, this will be a play call by Rick Barnes. Going to guard his own team right now. He has to make sure he gets a good look on this possession.
Ament baseline, double teamed in the corner. It's knocked away from him. Boy, if ever Kentucky could use one, it's here. Noah. Diabate. No foul called, out of bounds. It'll stay. It looks like with the Cats, but this crowd wants a whistle.
Well, Kentucky fighting their way back in. Mark Pope has to like the energy and the fight back on the defensive end of the floor.
They just showed the replay, as you can tell on the large screen here. It was clearly contact.
Kentucky is the best basketball job in the country because of the 20,000 plus and the passion they bring. There's clearly contact by Ament that didn't get called. It would have been a huge foul.
Jasper Johnson getting some productive minutes here for Kentucky, the freshman, right here out of Lexington, and there is a whistle.
Well, just the second team foul on Tennessee in this half. Kentucky already has been stuck with 5. And Kentucky was down 17 in Knoxville and found their way back, and they're trying to scratch and claw right now as well. Brandon Garrison immediately gets his eyes looking for the cutter, and Diabate says, "Here I am." And
no way to inbounds. Diabate, boy, that one was easily picked if Boswell had raised up or someone yelled to him. Owe throws it up to the rim. That may have been a pass, and Garrison comes down with it and now finds Johnson, who takes the 3. Can't make it. That one may have gone off Boswell, and it did. Kentucky may be out hustling them right now.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Boswell trying to wedge rebound on that backside. You think he got caught in a size mismatch. So you've got to wedge and fight. Those coaches' challenges, Ravi, they're so crucial, man, in a tight game like this, knowing you might need one down the stretch.
Fascinating lineup that he's got out there. There's no Chandler, there's no Yelovich, and there's no Moreno. Johnson, strong left hand up, no good, but he draws the foul on Gillespie.
Yeah, I say bad foul. I mean, this kid goes left and lefter, Jasper Johnson does. And he's just a freshman. He'll get that right hand developed, but if you're Gillespie, you've got him taking a twisted, off-balance, pivoting shot right here. Gillespie reaches in right there. No reason to do it. You're not going to block it anyways. Gives Johnson 2 shots.
No, boy.
Yes, no, yes, no, yes.
Yeah, for a while, and then finally fell through. Jimmy, Knicks Celtics, 12:30 Eastern Time, Sunday Showcase. It is presented by Popeyes. That's Jalen Brown and company. Jalen Brunson, of course. That's an Eastern Conference matchup. We're going to see that the rest of the season. And then Kawhi and the Clippers in Minnesota take on the Ant-Man and the Timberwolves. NBA countdown, noon Eastern. And listen to this place at 4.
Trent Noah trying to be really physical, as Kentucky has done well in the second half. But Rick Barnes goes to, I think, a play they call bunch, where they just isolate for him. Has a size advantage, and Noah got caught with a grab.
Noah's third. He's out. Garrison also out. So Marino and Chandler back in. This is as close as Kentucky has been, Jimmy, since it was 17-14. Kentucky's last lead, for those wondering, 8-7. Gillespie open 3. That's no good. Estrella had it, and Brown turned the wrong way. He would have had a layup. Amen has the ball 40 feet from the bucket with 5 seconds to go. Brown, no good. Moreno has it. This could be a 1-point game.
Really good ball screen defense by Kentucky, Ravi, on that possession.
Johnson to make it a 1. No. Pretty play, Gillespie, no good. Tip by Brown, no good. Tennessee this half is 2 of 13 from the floor. Chandler. And how about the empty trips for the Cats the last 3 possessions?
Does Rick Barnes slow this thing down a little bit? The last 4 times these two teams have played, we've not gotten above the 67 possessions. And Rick Barnes again, play calling right now in front of his bench. Can he get 10 in orange involved? He's down there, they're gonna run floppy action for him.
Update the stats. Tennessee is 2 of 15. That's 13% this half. And Ament wasn't quick enough with the trigger, so Johnson back on him. Baseline contact at the buzzer, no good. They'll call the shot clock violation. It'll be Kentucky basketball. And man, Jimmy, this is deja vu all over again.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Nate Ament, they put him in floppy action, gave him the option to go off of either side of a pin down screen. And once he caught that ball, they're going to take away the middle from Ament, force him to go left, and a good job by Diabate to not get hung up on Brown and bring that second defender right to the chest of Nate Ament.
Moreno has got Gillespie on him. Huge height advantage. Backdoor move and a cut from away. Timeout, Tennessee.
Man, Kentucky's starting to find their life. Much more alert, much more fight back on the defensive end. And Ravi, the last possession, you got to go at Tennessee at some point. Get that ball to the painted area, and Moreno is so skilled in himself.
Yeah.
His ability to make plays, just like he did on that baseline cut, is exceptional stuff. And starting to play like the preseason SEC Player of the Year. Tennessee, where is their offense in the second half? A brutal 2 for 15 from the floor.
I think Oweh's belief in himself was best exemplified by that block from behind that he was called for a foul on, which appeared to be very clean. 2 of 15 this half for the Vols, as Jimmy just said, trying to get something going. And they're starting again, late clock, 7. Amen to Estrella, to Brown. Beautiful 3 big man play.
That is Rick Barnes out of a timeout, especially on the road in a tight game. He's going to jackhammer that ball inside. What a find from Estrella to Brown.
Jesper Johnson works on the big man, lays it up and in.
Again, left and lefter. You've got to sit on that left side and make 2 in white do something else.
Similar setup to that last series. This time Ament spins to the free throw line. Evans penetrates. That's no good. Estrella can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound and a fresh 20. Evans will shoot. How about Estrella and the height advantage for Tennessee showing itself.
Yep, best offensive rebound team in the country is the team in orange.
They're 15th of the game to only 6 for Kentucky. Amen. Pretty move. No, but he will draw the whistle. KB Burdett has it on Yelovich, I believe. Underneath, yes, it's on Yelovich.
Ravi, coming out of the last timeout, we showed that Tennessee 2 out of 15 in the second half. What has Rick Barnes done the last 2 possessions? I'm going right back to Nate Ament. He's 6'10", putting him to the top of the key, coming off of his come on, and it is the best front line in all of college ball. I continue to say that Ruben Chenyolu is the best defender in college ball. He finishes off defensive possessions as the best defensive rebounder in the game. And Todd Golden's got himself a dump truck right now to work with.
Yeah, he's got another chance too. He's got a chance to go back to back. As Ament will attempt the free throw. And he missed that one. Jimmy, first place in the SEC as we talk standings on the men's side. How about the women's side? Joyce Edwards, number 3, South Carolina, get 19th ranked Tennessee. We'll start at 3 Eastern time. That's on ABC. And then next weekend, Saturday on ABC, we will have Kentucky at Florida.
Yeah. Every game is magnified now in this league and across the country. And every possession is magnified in a game like this at the under 8.
How about the minutes Jasper Johnson is getting on the floor? Bounce pass, Oweh, great cut.
He is so good starting on the left side on a dribble handoff, getting to his NASCAR cuts, getting downhill, turn it to that left shoulder. He is a force.
20,000 on their feet here at Rupp Arena. Good hands, Moreno, and he can't keep it inbounds.
Well, Otega Oweh coming out of that timeout. Mark Pope says, here's my guy. I'm going to let you come off of a cut right there. That's just that NASCAR cut, turning to his left full speed with force. One of the sweet plays that Mark Pope goes to out of timeout for Otega Oweh.
4 games in his career against Tennessee. He'd never gone over 14 points. He's got 18, and he's made 9 of 15 shots. Double zero in white. Gillespie, Estrella, that's blocked. Ament, good ball fake, but he is called with a shot clock violation. Give Kentucky's defense credit, Jimmy. They have been outstanding this half. Tennessee is 3 of 20.
They have been the more physical team in the second half. Kentucky has. It's hard to out-physical Tennessee. And that's exactly why they're within a made basket of Rupp Arena exploding.
You ask those around the Kentucky program, so what's changed? The word they use is they've gotten way more physical than they were at the beginning of the year.
Their bigs practice a lot of times with boxing gloves on for segments in practice right now.
Chandler, great dish. Moreno, boy, what hands, and no whistle. Boswell was surrounded by 5 shirts that were white. 3 no good, going the other way. They're going to get Boswell with a foul.
Nothing wrong with that shot at all, though, by Gillespie. I mean, Bishop Boswell punched that paint, played off 2 feet, and found Gillespie with a fill from behind. But Kentucky's defense is the story in this second half, making life heck on the team in orange. Estrella goes in with 2 hands and tries to finish it with 1. If he finishes it with 2, probably gets himself fouled, and just the lack of recognition on the shot clock. Kentucky flying around. Diabate, Chandler, Moreno, Otega Oweh getting hot on the defensive end at the right time.
Oweh, baseline. Oh my goodness! He got it to go, and Kentucky's got its first lead since 8-7. Oweh has 20. Can't put that much English on a basketball.
And you can't turn it over on this possession if you're Tennessee.
Boy, that ball may have been deflected in by Diabate.
What a hard, tough, determined drive by Bishop Boswell.
Oweh is feeling it. The dish to Diabate. Chandler! Too strong. Diabate fighting against Estrella. Boy, this is a physical battle right now.
Tennessee only 14 fouls. They still have a couple to give before Kentucky gets in that bonus.
Estrella, he went in hard, denied, tip, no good. Ament Yes,
Wow.
and he's got a chance for 3.
A play that Nate Ament did not make a month ago. I mean, he's in right there in the middle of a heavyweight fight. And for a 6'10" kid, Ravi, to get down low right there and come up with a snatch, boom. I mean, that thing's on the ground. He comes up with it and fights through the strength and contact of Johnson to get the friendly roll. Man, what a big-time basket on the road and a fist pump to finish it off by Tenenor.
How similar was that shot to the one he made in last game?
Yeah, very similar.
Right at the end of the shot clock, off the window. Nate Ament has come up big last 2 games for Tennessee, and the lead is 4. Johnson goes out, Aberdeen back in at point guard. Owe stays on the floor. Also, Diabate gets a breather. That group did really, really well.
Owe and Colin Chandler tucked away in those corners.
Owe drives. Boy,
Well,
who did he
Bishop-
knock over?
yeah, Bishop's
and who
nose.
got hit in the face again? Bishop Boswell.
There's also a reason why Bishop Boswell gets hit so much in the nose. He sticks his nose right on your numbers, man. There's no back down from this kid. And Owe went right into him with hard contact. But if you're not tough, you don't get clocked in the nose as much as Boswell does. Are they going to look at this?
They're going to go to the replay review. Maybe about Boswell's nose.
Boswell's going to be called for a cylinder foul because he gets into the space of Otega Owe. He's a legal defender right there, moving backwards. What else is he supposed to do? Right call, bad rule that we have to look at.
Owe, second free throw, no good, so the lead is 3. Owe, 21 points. Estrella, no good. He was fading away from the rim. Carey gives up an easy 2, and that one is blocked by Moreno. Bad pass there, and Evans went back like a defensive back and just picked it off. It was lazy and slow.
Ravi, Kentucky leads the SEC. They block 14 out of every 100 shots. Very difficult to get the ball to the rim against Kentucky.
Amen. How about Chandler? Boy, the defense has been ratcheted way up. Garrison. Oh, he quickly tried to lay it up, and how about the number of shots Kentucky has missed in the paint?
And Tennessee, make your layups, make your free throws. It's amazing how those numbers affect the outcome of a game.
Good hands, and on the floor, Gillespie. Jump ball, possession arrow stays with Tennessee. First meeting, Kentucky scored 15 points off Tennessee turnovers. Tonight, Tennessee has got 12 turnovers, and Kentucky has turned it into a bunch of points. Now they get 7, and Estrella's looking for somebody, and he was eyeing Carey, who never really presented an opportunity, and he forced that turnover pass. Owe, big drive, another one that rolls off the rim. That time Garrison cleans it up.
Yeah, that's the physicality that Brandon Garrison has started playing with. Man, we knew Duke Carolina would be a heated game. This one's going to be Houston BYU coming up.
Yeah, Owe, that's a foul. And Estrella is going to end up shooting.
Well, Brandon Garrison has not had a double-double tonight like he had midweek, but a very important big-time rebound, just shoves Carey out of the way, which is not easy to do. The ball ends up right in his paws in front of the rim. Regardless, he won the real estate battle in front of the rim. Therefore, he wins the 2 points.
Estrella will shoot his 4th free throw of the night. He's 1 of 3 so far tonight. Too strong and long to the left.
Tennessee 68% from the line, but better than Kentucky tonight. But man, both teams leaving points on the table.
They've missed 7 free throws tonight, make it 8. Diabate and Evans collided, and they're going to get, I think, number 1 in orange, Evans, with the foul.
Yes, it's only the 16th foul though on Tennessee. Maybe saved a basket because Kentucky came off clean and knocked it down.
Big minutes now with 3:12 to go, and Felix Okpara, who has been out with a leg injury, steps back onto the floor.
Ravi, the battle line is the ball screen defense with 3:12 to go on both ends. That's the battle line, the line of scrimmage. And if you lose it, you're going to give up points.
Evans out and Boswell back in. Gillespie's hands deflected it. Kentucky get the ball to Owe and trying to get that lead. Look at Okpara. He can play defense against anybody. He's way out top. Garrison's got Boswell on him. Aberdeen's going to have to throw it up. He does. No good.
Defensive clinic by Tennessee. They pinched off those elbows and took away every gap attack by Kentucky.
$20,000 verbal defenders on their feet trying to help the guys on the floor.
Chandler
grabbed him.
A little bit of a late whistle, but the right whistle. Colin Chandler doing the right things, trying to be physical, but he gets caught for a grab for Nate Ament working off that ball screen.
4th foul on Colin Chandler. You'll see it here. Well, you didn't see it there exactly.
Just prior to that, Colin Chandler has battled his back tail off against Nate Ament in the second half defensively, trying to blow up every screen situation. Now Nate Ament steps.
It's a critical foul though, Jimmy, right? I mean, you need Chandler's offense on the floor.
You do.
Ament swishes his first free throw. He's got 26 points.
Ravi, Nate Ament in November, December was a little bit of an arm shooter. And Rick Barnes has spent a ton of time with this guy to drop his backside, get his legs more into the shot. And it has started to show up primarily as a free throw shooter. Not all arms, getting legs into it. Important down the stretch.
He's made 5 of 6 from the stripe. 3-point advantage, Tennessee. 2.5 to go.
Arm shooters that are tired, they miss. Leg shooters that are tired, they make.
Moreno, good passer. Pushes Okpara deep. Skyhook is good.
How good is this guy now and going to be? I mean, he went right at Felix Okpara, which every coach in the league will tell you may be the best inside defender in this league.
Moreno has 9. Chandler playing with 4 fouls. Ament, the pull-up, no good. Chandler knocked it.
Otega-Oweh in that situation. Tennessee has to know it as well. Can he get on top of him and take that type of action away? If you do, you can also get burned by a back cut by Oweh.
And you may want to go right back down to Moreno, to Jimmy's point, 44-22 in the paint. He sets the high screen and then rolls. Aberdeen penetrates, and there's a whistle and a foul. Looks like it may be on Boswell, who's on his backside.
Well, Mark Pope went with what was successful in Knoxville. He put Aberdeen in a high ball screen and just let Aberdeen get off script and go make a play. Otega-Oweh was tucked away in this far right corner, who is a very good unguarded catch and shoot guy. You couldn't come off. Smart play by Mark Pope.
Aberdeen is a very good free throw shooter, 84% in SEC play. And it looks smooth, and it is to tie this game up with 1:27 to play.
Both teams with timeouts, both teams with challenges, by the way. Very important at the under 2.
I think somebody would use a challenge as a timeout if they need to. Even if the challenge, they kind of know the outcome.
I mean, I guess you could. I don't know why just call timeout.
If you don't have any.
Yeah. If you don't have any, that's too big of a risk. Here we go. We knew it would be a 1-possession game at the start of this thing, and here we are. Oweh on Nate Ament. That is good on good.
3 fouls on Oweh. Ament to his left with 8 on the shot clock. Here comes Okpara. Blows by the screen, up and in for Nate Ament.
How about that explosive first step by Ament in a short clock? Unguardable with a long stride.
29 in the game for Ament. And there's another timeout by Pope.
Ravi, the maturity of this kid, the toughness of this kid, the guts of Nate Ament. That shot clock's winding down on the road, and a sprint out ball screen. Nate Ament scored at the 22-foot mark with a big first step. He's gonna have to fight just to get the dadgum ball, but once he does, short clock, Rick Barnes sends a sprint up ball screen to him. And as he works back the other direction, here comes the ball screen. He's gonna put this ball out in front of him right there and covers ground, turns the corner. Jalen Carey with a roadblock, and Nate Ament gets to the right side. And the Tennessee Volunteers up 1 with just under 50 to go.
Absolutely right about Carey standing there underneath, setting that roadblock screen. But that allowed Ament, once he got that step, to lay it up and in. How about the last 2 games for Nate Ament? A combined 57 points on 19 of 31 shooting.
Well, Nate Ament looks gassed. It's okay to be tired right now. It is not okay to play tired. I'm talking about Tennessee or Kentucky, either one. This game is going to have meaning on Selection Sunday for seeding for the SEC tournament. And it's normally not the first shot in these situations that you grab a lead with. It's who can clean up the miss.
It's amazing, isn't it, Jimmy, as we sit here on February 7th in a 1-point game, to see how these 2 teams from the beginning of the year have changed. And Tennessee's so much better because Ament is so much better. Kentucky is so much more physical. Early in the year, man, they were written off. They weren't in this game, and here they are down 1.
Ravi, Kentucky was dead and buried by their own fan base. And this Kentucky team, they heard the hate and they felt the heat. But, man, they are right here in the fight right now to stay 1 game back in this SEC race. First week of February.
Tennessee's got 2 timeouts left. Kentucky has 1.
So much pressure on Boswell guarding Oweh. Aberdeen's been good on the ball screen.
And a much improved point guard, Aberdeen. Marino now has a switch. He's got Boswell on him. Oweh. Kick. Chandler 3. Right on the money! Kentucky by 2.
I told you, he's Kentucky's best pressure shooter. Delivered.
And he's doing it with 4 fouls as Rupp is rocking.
Man, what a fight drive by Otega Oweh. Because Okpara was doing a really good job until Otega Oweh got to that baseline. Amari Evans rotates over, but Colin Chandler, I talked about in the second half, he loves that slot 45, and that's exactly where he runs to. Otega Oweh almost with instincts, knowing 5 in white's going to be there, setting the rise and fire. Bam! Nothing but net by Colin Chandler.
Colin Chandler spent a couple of years away. Then his legs were a little wobbly. He is as healthy as he has been. He hasn't made a ton of shots tonight, Jimmy. He's got 9 points, but all 3 of them have been threes, and they have all been huge. And again, he and Diabate both with 4 fouls. We told you how critical it would be to keep him on the floor. And that 3 has given them a 2-point lead with 27 to go.
Ravi, Tennessee in the double bonus, so any foul, they're going to get 2 free throws out of it. What has Rick Barnes done the last 3 or 4 minutes? He has trusted Nate Ament as a ball handler. Ball screen getting downhill. Gillespie, 0 and Orange. Those are the 2 guys came in averaging 20 points apiece in conference play. A lot of times right now, it's not about the play you call, it's the play a guy makes. Gillespie, Nate Ament are those 2 guys.
Ament 29 in the game. Gillespie has been very quiet in the second half with 15 points.
From Duke, Carolina to this. Wow.
Oweh on Ament. Turnaround.
Short.
That's short. Rebound Moreno with 14 seconds.
What a job by
They
Owe.
get the foul.
What a job by Otega Owe. I said he's the best two-way guard in the SEC, and I stand behind it. I mean, he did all he could to fight over this ball screen right here. He gets off Okpara, boom, stays in the play, fights to get back, cuts off Ament, and forces Nate Ament into a tough shot, very capable of making it. And now huge free throws for the freshman from right here in Lexington. Kentucky High School Player of the Year with a chance for big ones right now against the heated rivalry, Tennessee Volunteers.
Malachi Moreno steps to the stripe. He's made 3 of 4. He makes 2. It could be massive. Make it a 2-possession game. This is a big, big one coming up from Moreno, whose stock is soaring. No good, and Tennessee will have a chance. And Rick Barnes is going to talk it over. They used their last timeout. They are down by 3 with 8 seconds to go.
Well, if you're Kentucky, 8 seconds, Ravi, is too quick to foul. You're up 3. That thing needs to be ideally 4 seconds or less. So Mark Pope's going to have to guard here for a while. If Tennessee's going to bounce that ball around the perimeter, then fouling up 3 can come into play. If you're Rick Barnes right now, people will say you don't need a 3. Well, you do. You're down 3 with 8 seconds to go. You need a 3. And Gillespie can obviously make one from distance with a step-back ability. We'll see who he puts in the game. Troy Henderson, the true freshman, probably about as good a shooter as he has. What you like about Nate Ament at 6'10", he can take a guarded 3 with his length.
Gillespie has not taken many shots in the second half.
No.
The risk in fouling, Red Jimmy, is that you allow the rebounders for Tennessee to get a rebound if you make the first free throw.
Yeah.
They've out-rebounded them 19-7.
Yeah, if you put him on the line,
yeah.
It's you know, if you're Tennessee right now, you're trying to get a catch and shoot 3 off. I believe he's got Troy Henderson in the game right there to Rick's left. It's too early for Kentucky to foul right away, Ravi, with 8.6, because in your mind, mathematically, if you're Mark Pope, you're thinking that makes it a 72-71 game. They're going to foul us. Now the pressure's on us to make free throws. Ideally, can you get this thing under 4 if you're Mark Pope? And if you do foul, you have to foul as that ball's being dribbled, especially with a continual motion that we have in the college game right now. Crazy things have happened across the country because of that, some continuation plays. If you're Tennessee, if the first shot doesn't go, it cannot be a putback. You got to kick that thing out.
4 different three-point shooters on the floor with Henderson, Boswell, Gillespie, and Ament.
The out-of-bounds guy is always dangerous. That's Ament.
They get it to Estrella, and Garrison immediately picks up the foul. And Mark Pope immediately puts his thumb up. That's what we wanted. They're going to send Estrella to the free throw line.
Well, what that foul has done for Kentucky, if J.P. Estrella makes these free throws, you've allowed Tennessee to extend this ball game, because then the pressure also now shifts back to Kentucky to make free throws as well. There's plenty of time left if J.P. Estrella makes 1 or 2 of these.
But he's 1 of 5 in the game.
Yeah,
he's a 66% free throw shooter. Knocks the first one down calmly.
He's a tough kid. You've heard me say before, I want tough guys on the line in this situation as much as high percentage shooters.
Kentucky doesn't opt to bring Tennessee bring Okpara in, so it appears Estrella is going to, with 8 seconds, attempt to make this free throw.
Tennessee's out of timeouts.
Boswell is down on the ground. Yeah, a big collision as he and Moreno got all wrapped up with each other. This time it wasn't the front of Boswell's face, it was the back of his head that got banged.
Revy, you're going to see full court denial pressure by Tennessee. Trying to come up with a steal, trying to come up with a 5-second count. Kentucky, they do have a timeout left. Mark Pope's got to make sure his guys understand if we get hung up, call one, and we'll talk about it.
Aberdeen is an 84% free throw shooter. Chandler obviously is a 90% free throw shooter. They'd love to get it in the hands of one of those two guys. Owe will inbounds with Boswell on him.
They have to make 2 cuts.
They get it to Chandler, and he gets ripped right away by Ament. So you're sending Colin Chandler, a 90% free throw shooter, to the free throw line, up by 1.
But I said Colin Chandler loves the pressure. He loves these moments. Kentucky got the ball into the hands of the guys they wanted. This is the play right here that might have sealed it for Kentucky. That Otega Owe fighting his life on that baseline to find Colin Chandler in that slot. Now Colin Chandler, just a sophomore. 86%, hasn't taken one tonight.
Think about the big plays that Colin Chandler has come up with for Kentucky. He was the guy that threw the inbounds play on the touchdown pass. He had the big steal against Tennessee late in that game, and he knocked down the 3, and now massive free throws. That's off, and how about Diabate to get the rebound? And Aberdeen will be fouled.
Tennessee
Mo Diabate
got exactly what they wanted, a missed free throw by a 90% free throw shooter in conference play. But Mo Diabate just quicker to the ball, not a physical box off by Tennessee. A costly mistake. Watch Mo Diabate on that left side, just whips Amari Evans. Not easy to do. Evans, a true freshman, going to learn a valuable lesson. You gotta win the war from the waist down. Diabate won it.
All right, so the 90% free throw shooter didn't make it. Let's go to the 84% free throw shooter, Aberdeen. 2 for 2 tonight.
Tennessee with no timeouts left, so everything's on the fly right now. If I'm Mark Pope, I don't call a timeout and allow Rick Barnes to draw anything up. They got 3.7 to work with.
They got all their defenders at the half-court line, so it's going to be a long heave for either Ament, Gillespie, you assume, or Boswell. This is the free throw right here for Aberdeen to put them up 3.
And we saw Kentucky go Christian Laettner against LSU this year. Now Kentucky, Tennessee has to have some type of a play. This ball's got to be thrown. You got 3 dribbles at most. Give it back to Gillespie.
Yep.
He's got a chance.
Half court to tie. Oh! Off the back iron and off the rim. The comeback complete. The Volunteers lose another double-digit lead. Kentucky 74-71. That's as close as you can come on a half-court shot.
Yeah. Akpar did a good job of getting himself open and gave it back to Gillespie, who got a good look. You can say he had time for maybe one more bounce. He's got the shot clock right in his vision. I'm telling you what, that thing is right on line. Just doesn't quite fall. Man, there's something about this Mark Pope Kentucky team. They can get down, but they do not lose their belief, and it all starts with Otega Owe. What a night in the SEC.